Hello. 1 second. Is that working? Okay. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Let me open. Hi guys. How are you? Alright. 1 second. Let me just open up Junghwan's birth chart. Because that will be very beneficial for this reading. If you guys can hear me okay? Let me know. Alright. Good? Okay, cool. Alright, so 1 second, okay, we're gonna start. Let's just open up his birth charts. Okay. Almost his birthday. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, we are ready to go. So, how is everybody? Thanks for waiting. How's everyone doing today? Good, how are you? I'm good, thank you for asking. I am kind of busy, but been busy all week, but it's okay. Supposed to do this reading later in the day, but thanks for letting me do it earlier in the day because I have other stuff to do. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm curious, by the way, because, originally this was supposed to be a public reading. Probably only you here. Oh, okay. No worries. Well, if that's the case, that's no problem. Yeah, so I'm curious, though, right? I'm curious, like, why suddenly private reading? Why suddenly private reading? Just curious. Rather than public. Jason, yeah. Jason, if you say hi. You didn't want negative energies or dwelling on predictions. Fair. That's fair. Good point. And a good call. Good call. Sounds good. I am with you on that. I think that's also why, like, I'm not as active doing these tarot hangouts as like before. Just because it's cool that the community grew or whatever, but not a lot of the new ones get it. They don't understand the depth or the importance of like not dwelling when it comes to these readings. So I think I'm slowly falling out of doing these public readings. Private's fine because you guys get it. But yeah. All right, so it looks like my cards are good to go. You ready? All right. Since you're ready, let's begin. Thankfully, when I meditated on him, he's been okay. Granted, he should be asleep still by now. Don't worry here. You have two Junghwan moms here. No negative energy here. Bless. Bless, bless, bless. Yeah. I definitely relate. Because Junghwan is, no matter what, he's baby. Okay. So, all right. So, my friend, let's see, my friend, well, friends, Jason and Ava are here to help with the reading. So, they're actually stoked because it's not going to be a chaotic session because it's just you guys. So that'll be nice. um, even though this is a private reading, I'm sure you guys already understand the gist of how this works. I'm still going to have to say my disclaimer just in case, but just a little refresher. So, on that note, welcome. I'm pretty sure maybe you're going to share this link to other people that you do trust. So just for for their heads up as well. As you take this reading, take it with a grain of salt. Nothing I say today out of these messages may be definite, factual, or fixated. You know the drill. These are just simply messages through my cards, through energy, and current energy only, right? You get the gist of that. Anything can shift. Everything I say can just be completely different the next day, whenever, because, Jungwon still has his own free will of choice, and the universe is always working at that regard. So again, just take it for what it is, surface based. You don't have to dwell on it, like you said. Don't have to just kind of linger on these readings. Okay, so let's just enjoy this reading for what it is and claim good energy for Junghwan, right? So, with that said, I did ask if you had any particular questions about Junghwan, but I think it's pretty much just a general check on him, right? You just wanted to know how he's doing. It has been a while, no? I don't remember when was the last time I met him? It's been a while, no? Maybe 2021, I assume. I don't think I read him last year. Was it last year? I don't know. I'm curious. Let me check that real quick because I don't know how long ago. So let me check. Uh, it was 2021. I knew it. I knew I didn't read him last year. Yeah, it was 2021. Actually, so it's like, oh my god, it's literally almost 2 years. My last reading on him was March 8th, 2021. It's been 2 years ago. Wow. Almost 2 years. So it's a long overdue energy check in on just him only. All right. So good to know. All right. Let's see the growth in his energy since then. Okay. Let's start. So he definitely grew a lot then. He definitely grew a lot for sure. It's kind of crazy to think. Okay, let's start doing this. How do I do this? Let's do the cards. Oh, you're already excited. Okay. Thank you for this reading. Okay, let's relax. Let's relax. My cards are excited because I haven't done a tarot hangout in a long time. Thank you again for the session. And that's for you. Here's your wisdom, protection, assurance, truth. Okay. Are you good, cards? Looks like you're good. Okay. So the cards are great. The energy is good. Let's ask about Junghwan. Okay, let me tap into Junghwan. I heard you shuffling in your random earlier, and I thought what that noise was. Oh, my bad. Totally my bad. Yeah, I mean, normally when I do those random hangouts, for the most part, I always try to squeeze in some cards for everybody. So, but yeah. So, We asked of you, how is Junghwan doing at this moment? Wow. Okay. Interesting. So this is going to be. All right. Well, in general, the energy, not just Junghwan's energy, but I feel like this is just the overview of what we can expect throughout the reading and maybe something about him. Yeah. Okay. By the way, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Normally, so here's a difference between me doing these readings in public versus me doing these readings in private. I'm a lot more open. I even more so do not sugarcoat my messages on when it's a private session. Okay, just a heads up with that. All right. So, truth be told, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse for Junghwan. This is just an overview of what we might expect or like underlying themes that we can expect from Junghwan in this reading, right? As of now, the Five of Pentacles in reverse talks about a lot of like lacks, something that needs to be worked on, something that, kind of integrates what he might be thankful for, what he might not be thankful for, or something that he wants to work within himself. So I think we are going to see much more of like his internal aspects, kind of like what bothers him, what doesn't bother him, what frustrates him, especially like in his time and age, and then of course like in his career too. So there's just probably going to be a lot of revelations about what it has been kind of a struggle here. If not just a struggle, just something that like bugs him. Okay. He is at that age. That age is a very vulnerable time and a very confusing time because he's, like teenage life. I know I was a very confused teenager as well. So we might have a lot of that underlying theme during this reading. Okay. So that's what we can expect. Is there anything? Yeah, exactly. Is there anything else we can expect out of this reading about Junghwan, please? Yeah, okay. We might get a lot about what he's been thinking of, what he reflects on, like within himself, or even things around him and such. So, because this is a private session, a lot of the energies, especially Spirit of the cards, prefer it that way, and they become a lot more open because this is like meant to happen in a sense. It's like an intimate session, so we're gonna learn a lot about Junghwan internally, okay? Because the Hermit represents our internal factors, what we reflect, what we have become like introspective on. So, okay, a lot of that. So let's really start the reading, yeah? Okay, in this moment, how is he doing? In this moment, how is Junghwan doing? In general, how is Junghwan doing? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I feel this. Even for me, I'm feeling this. Now, it doesn't, like, collectively, it makes sense to me because these days, fixed signs, so that's Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, right? Those placements, whether it's like Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, um, those fixed signs collectively have been kind of caught in the middle between feeling too rushed, like wanting more time, and then like having all the time in the world and not knowing what to do with that time. So it's like caught in between of like patience versus impatience. And this is what Junghwan's also experiencing, and he is an Aquarius, obviously. So he's kind of like caught in the middle between wondering when things will turn out the way he wants versus, trying to be patient kind of thing. Um, I can see the aspect of him just waiting for the right moment for something, whether it's something grand or whether it's even small, trivial things. I feel like he's been holding off his patience personally in a lot of aspects, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether it's just within himself, he's kind of in his head about time, right? Because Wheel of Fortune in reverse talks about waiting for time, trying to go in a circle, trying to see something like flip 180 in a positive manner. Not to say that he's in a negative sense right now. It's just he thinks that he feels stuck, he feels stagnant, he's not seeing progress, or he's not feeling progress within himself. You know what I mean? So he feels a little caught in the middle between that. Okay, that's what's going on in general. I'm going to break down the aspects right now. Normally, I like to break it down in 8 aspects of life. Okay, so let's start first how he's doing mentally. How is he doing mentally? How is he doing mentally? How's Junghwan doing mentally? Okay, well, 2 cards are flying here. So, again, very caught in the middle. You know what? It sucks because it's hard when, like if I'm putting myself in his position, he's Manme, right? He's the youngest. So it's such a huge thing out there to have that hierarchy. And if you're in the bottom of that hierarchy, even if they don't treat you like that, you still want to come off as respectful or whatever, or understanding because that's your position as Magne, right? He's caught in the middle of that right now. So mentally, he's like, let me try my best to just remain calm, to remain patient, to remain understanding of my situation, or, situation of everyone else, or everything happening around me. I'm trying to remain zen about it. But he also cannot help, okay? He also cannot help but the devil card of his own insecurities kind of consuming him. So he's trying not to let those insecurities shed. He's not trying to let those, fears or worries or stressors, burdens just kind of leak and, project, right? So he's suppressing himself overall. Okay, so mentally, it's all in his head. He doesn't know where to release that, where to channel that out, where to process it properly. So he's again also still stuck in the middle between calmness versus chaos, right? Did that incident during his live have anything to do with this? Is that the moment where people kept demanding for other members and he called Tunas out? Is that the one you're talking about? Or is it something else? Okay. Great question. Actually, I was thinking that. I'm going to pull a card for that. I'm going to pull a card for that. Does that have anything to do? Yeah, kind of. It's not the main factor, but it does feed into his insecurities. Okay. You have the 10 of Cups in reverse and it feeds the devil. Okay. So when the 10 of Cups comes up in reverse, it's like, I'm trying to remain happy. I'm trying to prolong and have a good time here. And yet it's not coming out the way I want. It's not, things just go out of hand, and I'm trying to still remain patient with that high priestess, right? So it feeds into his insecurities. When things don't go the way he has planned, it goes into his insecurities. It feeds the devil per se, right? And it feeds the devil in his head. So kind of like what I said, right? The the Aquarius in him. So a lot of Aquarius placements, if you have Aquarius, you might relate, because Aquarius has these tendencies to feel left out, or they feel like they don't belong. So there's 2 signs in the zodiac that feel this way often. Excuse me, let me mute that. Sorry. Anyway, so there's 2 placements in the zodiac, signs in the zodiac that always feel like this, which is 1, Pisces, and the second one is Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the planet of change and reform. The thing is, reform is always the different or the outcast of such. So a lot of Aquarius feels this way. And it's like no matter what they want to do or what they want to try, it takes a little more extra effort to look at these Aquarius placements and to be fully considered, or for them to feel like they belong, right? And so even like the simplest things that they try to do, even if it's as simple as hanging out with people, it can kind of get misinterpreted or misunderstood, or not considered in a good light. So yeah, that's kind of his current struggle with that. The mom and me, I know I'm a little saddened by this, but I'm claiming it gets better for him mentally, because that's not good. He does. He needs the encouragement. What needs to happen, in my opinion, right? In my humble opinion, he needs to just embrace the, not the difference, but just embrace his uniqueness. Okay? Just because, a lot of kind of deal where things are not going what he had anticipated, he can just do things on his own, and he can make use of that or utilize that to his advantage. Is Junghwan right on the end of the Aquarius cycle? Actually, great question. I'm glad you know about that. Yes, he is. And it's funny because looking at his birth chart, so pretty soon, okay, pretty soon we have Saturn moving into Pisces. So transiting, we're having Saturn moving into Pisces, and it's gonna last uh for like the next 3 years, so 2023 into 2026. Now the thing is here, it's when a planet moves out of its current sign, that's when things get difficult. And then once it kind of settles in the new sign, in the next sign, then it gets a little better. But it's leaving out of his 11th house. 11th house is actually the house of your dreams. It's the house of your aspirations, your goals, but it's also the house of your friend group, your social circle, the people that you associate with, your network, your community. So what's happening is his place of belonging, whether it's about his dreams, his wishes, his goals, and then the people he associates with, that's being challenged right now as Saturn moves out of Aquarius. Okay. So he has, his Aquarius is in his 11th house. So that's being affected until Saturn leaves. Though astrologically, Saturn is going to stop challenging him in his place of his network or how he shows up for others, and then it's going to challenge his more like on his physical aspect. But we'll talk about that probably later in a little bit. So yes, Saturn is kind of affecting him, and Junghwan is on the end part of his Aquarius axis. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, let me know as soon as possible if like I lag or whatever, and then I'll stop. So yeah, that's what's happening mentally. Let's check on him physically real quick. How is Junghwan doing physically, please? Physically, he's great. we can see that. Junghwan, he looks like really healthy. He's growing really well. We have here the 10 of Pentacles. Right now, his strength is his physical aspect. Okay, physically, he's fine. He's doing great. He's healthy. He's doing good. He's doing good. He's doing a great job. So 10 of Pentacles is, he's a growing boy, so it's fine. So we can't evade that. We can't deny that. The 10 of Pentacles says, yeah, he's really abundant in his physical health right now. So that's good. And he should keep up with that. So pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to clarify even more. So I don't need to pull another card for that. Let's go with his emotional aspect. Okay. So emotions, anything that's within his heart space. Let's see how he's doing emotionally. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles is like pretty much the best card to have when it comes to your medical or any kind of like physical aspect. So I love that. Okay, so emotionally, how is he doing emotionally? Okay, so the damn devil's back again. Okay. Okay, the devil, I mean, it is already kind of what I said earlier about his insecurities, all of that. So it does affect him emotionally. I just see a lot of fear or a lot of worry, but it's not factual fear, because fear is never really factual. Fear is just fear. Fear is a figment. It's kind of like part of the figment of our imagination. We kind of create these fears, these scenarios in our head, these worries in our mind and in our heart, and it lingers for a little bit. So it's something that he really needs to work on, trying not to get ahead of himself, trying not to jump into conclusions, and trying not to over exaggerate what really is and what, might not be. So the devil just likes doing that. It just likes to play with our minds and our hearts a little bit, right? It just wants to make us feel bad, especially when we are at our most confused or most vulnerable and most sensitive. The devil likes to do that. But in positive aspect, devil isn't always like a bad card. The devil actually just likes to teach a lesson because the devil is Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn again. So kind of what I said, right? He has Saturn leaving his one of his houses, and Saturn is just teaching him things about himself, right? So yeah, it's uncomfortable emotionally, but it's teaching him about himself. Okay, it's teaching a lot. Though uncomfortable, it's teaching him a lot. All right, let's see. Yeah, exactly. Growing pains, perfect example. We're gonna carry on spiritually. How's he doing spiritually? How's his inner spirit and his soul doing? Okay, he's trying. He's trying to hold himself together. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, so it's kind of like what I said about being caught in the middle. Um, for example, that High Priestess versus the Devil. So this Four of Wands is like, basically, if I'm Junghwan, I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to make things big. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just trying to remain sane. I'm trying to just make the most of where I'm at right now. And I don't want to get carried away. Okay. Now, spiritually, in that sense, he's doing actually a pretty good job in spite of his age. He's doing a pretty good job at just thinking and letting things flow. Even though it's uncomfortable, he's trying to see how it should pass. And he's not, again, trying to let himself get carried away spiritually. He doesn't want to kind of make any mistakes or cause any more unnecessary burdens. I don't think he's ever caused any burdens, in my opinion. But in his mind, he feels like he would if he ever said anything or if he ever did anything. He feels just kind of worried. He always comes off as mature for his age. I agree. I mean, he is a soul age 9, so yeah. Four of Wands in reverse. What's happening spiritually? And I could see. So you know how they had that Japan tour, and like when he was expressing his love and his feelings to his parents, right, on stage. And I was telling my friends this, but like the way he was crying, you can tell that was the emotions and the thoughts he's been suppressing in his head for a lot, right? I mean, I just mentioned that. Like, he has a lot of things kept in. And the moment he started, like, expressing his love towards his family, it's like he couldn't control himself, right? It's like once you start, you can't stop kind of feeling. And this card of Four of Wands in reverse is highlighting that. Okay, it's highlighting that spiritually, the universe is saying Junghwan needs to go home. Junghwan needs a break, actually. That's what this card is saying. Because spiritually, he's trying to remain mature. He's still trying to be a good magne. He's still trying to be professional. He's still worrying about school, etc. But then at the same time, he doesn't really often get to see his home, his family, his loved ones. And I think through this card, because Four of Wands does represent stability and it represents home and it represents family, since it's reversed, it's like he needs to go home for a little bit. Exactly, especially his birthday is coming up. He needs an aspect of home, or he needs a refresher, kind of like that aspect of being comforted. You know, sure, it's nice to be comforted by your members, but it's still not the same as being comforted by your family, your parents, right? He's still very young, and he doesn't have to act mature all the time. He should openly act his age, you know, especially since his youth is pretty much spent on being an idol or trying to be part of Treasure. So, yeah, if it was possible, hopefully, you know, in a given point in time, he could probably take a break. Can I be honest? Actually, I don't know if you were around for one of my older um, treasure readings, group readings, but I did mention a long time ago that there might be potential, again, there might be potential for two other members going on a break. And don't worry, I mean like actual break, not leaving the group if that's what you're concerned. But Junghwan was actually one of them. So I was just, yeah. There was potential that later on there might be two other members from Treasure that'll take a hiatus or take a break, but will actually come back. And Junghwan was one of them. Because the way I'm seeing it, spiritually, he needs a recharge. I remember the one you said he'll take a hiatus. Yeah. Is it for school? Is this still in the cards? We'll get to the predictions again, like after the questions, but I just wanted to kind of recall what I said before that, you know, after maybe a tour, after maybe some time, maybe after a comeback or completion of a chapter, there was going to be another hiatus from a couple members. So I just wanted to tell you that because I never revealed which members it was. So I'm telling you now, one of them what in that prediction was Junghwan. So I'm not saying I could see it right now, but we'll definitely check into it later if it's still there, if it still might happen. Honestly, they all need a break. I agree. They all do need a break. They all do need a break. Because even during that hiatus, they were still busy. They were busy regrouping. So it must have been hard. But I'm totally with you on that. Okay. So, with that said, let's go socially. How's he doing socially? How's he doing socially? How is he doing socially? Okay, socially he's okay. Actually, he's a lot better. Next tour soon already. I know, right? Just came out of nowhere. So socially, Two of Pentacles. He's doing a lot better. Okay. Kind of like growing into his comfort zone, which is good. Um, he's still getting the hang of it. He's still, in his opinion, right, in his own perspective, he feels like he still needs to work on it. My opinion, he's doing a great job. Just comparing himself now versus like pre-debut. You know, he was definitely more of a hermit, more in his own, but he's proactive a lot more. But to him, he's like, oh, I need to work on that more. I need to be more of a, you know, intimate with fans or being more communicative with the people around me and not be so. He mentioned in a fan sign he doesn't have school friends. Oh, did he? I did not know that. I did not know that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see her friends. Socially. Oh. He okay. He has okay, to confirm, he has acquaintances. But like none of them that he can really consider like besties or, you know, best friends or good friends or whatever the case that is. He just has, yeah, company. That's what I'm saying. Because the King of Swords, That's like Aquarius energy again, because swords is air. So it's like, yeah, I exist, and yeah, my friends or my classmates or my acquaintances, they're around, and sometimes we talk, but there's kind of like that distinct separation he has of himself versus like other people, because he's kind of stuck in his head about who he is. Does that make sense? It's like, I mean, if you put yourself in his position, you're an idol. He might have like these insecurities where he's like, maybe they're only trying to talk to me because I'm part of this group. Maybe like he has like trust issues about it, right? It's like, oh, cool. I talk to these people, they talk to me sometimes, but he has like these level of boundaries. He's not trying to get too intimate with these people, and he doesn't want to give himself away too much, because not only is he worried about like the idol image, but he knows that if he does anything wrong, it can also affect the group in general, right? So, King of Swords, because King is obviously the highest in the court. When you are being represented by the king, it's like, I'm doing things very strictly, and I'm doing that for the protection, or I'm doing that because I feel like that is right, or that's what I think is right. So he's being careful, right? The Two of Pentacles is just, it's controlled, it's careful, it's extra cautious, it's like high maintenance, it's trying to be managed, and it's all from the root of trying to make it justified, or trying to be in the right, or trying to be in the good eye of all things, right? Holding a reputation, because there's consequences if he doesn't, in his opinion. So yeah, he keeps these people at an arm's length. I'm a little sorry, I'm just like, it's frustrating. Like, I love Junghwan, and I wish he could have just I wish he could just experience a normal high school life, but it's kind of just how it is. I wish he doesn't have to like overthink it. That's what I'm trying to say. Because King of Swords, though very smart and though very righteous, they overthink a lot. They do. They overthink a lot about situations, and always trying to do the right thing when he doesn't have to. He should be freely open to do or connect with whatever he pleases, without being so afraid of effing up. But I get it, because it is, he's he's selfless that way. Anyway, all right. How is he doing career wise? This is the last aspect. How is he doing career wise? Okay, so here it is. Another two. Okay, so Two of Swords in reverse. I'll be real with you. He doesn't know. He's unsure right now, career wise. Like, I see him, he does enjoy what he does. Like, he loves being part of Treasure, but he's uncertain of the future. I'll be real with you. It kind of not, it doesn't concern me a lot. It's just, when you're in a kind of like void of that kind of thought, a lot can happen if you don't segregate your thoughts properly, right? As an idol acting, just in general, he doesn't know. So when Two of Swords comes out, especially in reverse, it's like you're. I mean, if you look at the image, right, this person is blindfolded, right, meaning that, and he's holding the two swords, right. So kind of imagine it this way: it's like, I have the two swords represents what I have, what I should be thankful for, and what like resources I have, like opportunities I can use to make it flourish. But if I'm blindfolded, how am I able to see what I can do with my skill sets, with these opportunities, with these chances, with these resources, everything that I have in my hands, I can make do, I can compromise, I can, you know, build myself with these things, right? But if I'm blindfolded, it means I am uncertain, I'm scared, I am in the dark, I am confused, I am lost about what I can do next, right? So right now, when it comes to his work and when comes to his career, whether it's about acting, whether it's about being part of Treasure, right? He's not sure what can happen next. He somewhere deep within him, he knows he has the resources, but because he's blindfolded, he's like, I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do next. I don't know what's ahead of me. I don't know how to go about it. So he's confused. And I guess that devil also is blindfolding him again, right? You're being blinded of the potential that you have, gaslighting yourself also for the potential that you have, you know? So, Two of Swords, yeah, it's like, okay, I'm part of Treasure. I show up, I practice hard, I cooperate with my hyungs, I sing my parts, I perform my parts well, but I don't know if it, like, again, if I'm being blindfolded, it's like, I'm here, it's like, okay, I'm so Junghwan of Treasure. Okay, I'm part of Treasure. I have my parts, I perform well, I tour with them, blah, blah, blah. Is this all I have? Right? I'm blindfolded. Is this all I have? Is this all I'm like? Is this all that's what's going to be for me? Kind of thing. Even though that's not true, right? He can always make more of what he has now. Is the feeling caused by the agency? Let's check. What is causing him to feel this way? Is it because of the agency? Is it because of YG Entertainment? Management? Why is he feeling this way about his work and his career? Mm, okay. I wouldn't necessarily say it's because of the agency. It's more of just, okay. It's kind of like what I mentioned about, okay, I said this already earlier about Aquarius feeling left behind or feeling out of place or feeling like just outcasted a bit. It's not intentional, okay? It's just, even if like you are being welcomed, to the insecurity within you still feels like it doesn't belong, like you don't belong. Only Aquarius and Pisces placements can understand this. Even if you have friends, family that welcomes you openly, if you're not feeling secure enough that you are being considered or being welcomed, then no matter what people do around you, no matter if it's your agency, your members, family, friends, you're never going to feel like you belong until you work on what's causing you to think this way. Does that make sense? Now, the way he feels about his position at work and his future about work and his career, I'm going to say the cause of this is just because there's so many. There's so many members. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It's a hassle. He loves his members, he loves his youngs, and that's why he's torn. It's like he's very selfless and he wants everyone to thrive because he loves them, he supports them, but he's kind of feeling like he's leaving himself empty-handed. And he's realizing this too. He wants to like be selfish and still selfless at the same time, like the trickle down effect. Yeah, kind of in that sense. Yeah. It's like, if I'm Junghwan, it's like, where do I cross the line between trying to get spotlight, trying to get a little bit of shine, versus still being able to give leeway to my other members. Let's use that. Let's use I don't mean to, but it's kind of like the perfect example. Let's use that random out of nowhere um gesture he did in the Japan tour. You know how he like revealed his abs just freaking out of nowhere. No one knew he was gonna do that, right? No one. You can literally see the way he did it. He had those intrusive thoughts. I noticed this. I kept that to myself, but I've noticed it in the fan cams. His aura. So his aura when he did it, his aura when he did it was too red. Okay, when you have an aura that is way too red, it means your root chakra is too hyperactive. When your root chakra is too hyperactive, it's telling you to hold back and like restricting yourself. And then suddenly you had an intrusive thought. That devil's like, just do it already. He's like, you know what? Screw it. This is my time. When am I gonna have a moment to just, become viral or have people talk about me? So he did it, right? And you could kind of see that he enjoyed it, but then like last minute or last second, you can see Loki. He was like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have done that. His intrusive thoughts kind of got in the way, and I was like, oh well, what I did it anyway, and now he keeps doing it whenever he has the chance, right? But anyway, with that same respect, when it comes to his career, in spite of how much he loves his members, he feels like he's gypping himself, you know. I think it's hard to be a magne. I think it's hard to be a magne. And then not only that, so here's something interesting. The Four of Cups in reverse, it's like he's gonna eventually break out of this before. Okay. It feels like he's gonna break out of this kind of like mindset eventually. But from what I can tell, eventually uh in the near future, like especially in his career, he's gonna have like opportunities being given to him. Okay. And I can see him have like a heart to heart talk, not just like him and like management, but like him and the members. And the members are gonna be like, yo, we're not telling you to hold back, do it. You got a gig? Oh, you wanna act, you wanna do this, do it. Take it. But right now, he's trying his best to kind of like he's trying his best to not be what's the best term of it, Ava? Kind of like a forced stan attractor, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of idols these days, especially in this generation. I mean, I don't stand a lot of like the fourth gen, but I still see it in passing on Twitter, and everyone likes to say that, oh, so and so is stealing the spotlight. Oh, so and so is like a hog for the center or whatever, something like that, you know. But this is gonna happen for him organically, regardless of him trying or not. It's just gonna open up for him, and so it's just only a matter of time for him to just accept it and like to welcome those blessings or welcome those opportunities. And Treasure's gonna support him no matter what. But right now, his disadvantage is being the magne and being a magne of many members. And I think what's also worsening the situation is he doesn't feel adequate enough to have more spotlight. You know what I mean? So similar to that devil card again, when you have that devil and it's being giving you all these insecurities and worries and stresses, to him, he's sitting on those factors. Like maybe it's because I'm not adequate enough, or maybe it's because I'm not capable enough to have more of that light, to have more of that shine, or whatnot. And this is probably why he works his butt off that hard, right? He feels like, okay, well, regardless, I need to step it up. I need to give my 1000%. in every performance, in every practice, and whatnot. So I don't feel like I'm caught behind. But personally, he's going to break out of that. I can see that because the Nine of Pentacles is independent energy. He's going to slowly realize his actual worth, his actual, potential. And it's just going to show up in front of him. Yeah, exactly. The amount of lines he's not getting. I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I wouldn't sit on the fact that I wouldn't sit on the fact that it's only like it's the entertainment's or the agency's fault. I would say it is a factor. I would say that YG is a factor, but in hindsight, right, when you're creating either like a song or a choreography, they're thinking about more of quality. They're not thinking about distribution. Okay, that's also the cold hard truth here. They don't care about lines. Okay, and if they did, right, if they did, sure, that'll be great, but they don't care too much about lines or screen time or distribution, because what they care about is what fits in. Say if you're breaking down a song, or this line suits such and such's voice is better, etc., 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 and won't really think about the consequences of not seeing a certain member for as long as another member, kind of thing. But regardless of that, right now, um, again, like I said, there's going to be opportunities opening up for him, and he can make use of that, and he can utilize that as something bigger for him, and he can make an individual name for himself and still be part of Treasure, right? So, yeah. This one here, the Nine of Pentacles. This is a good sign, though. I'm gonna say, I know we're not in predictions yet, but let me open his chart again. Let me look at the transits. I'm gonna say this summer is where it starts picking up for him. Not like by a whole lot, but it's like the momentum's gonna start picking up for him this summer. I'm gonna say this summer for Junghwan will be significant because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, exploration, luck, good fortune. That's going into his that's going to go into his 10th house, which is career, goals. So that's what he needs. And that's happening in the summer. So that's a good sign. So let's wait around, yeah, like July, August, September, around that time, it's transiting in there, in that aspect. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give it till summer. Hopefully that energy activates a lot more. Um, Speaking of his birthday is tomorrow. No, it is tomorrow because it's already the 17th there, so it's tomorrow. Well, let me see something real quick. Let me see. By the way, I should have asked this earlier. Am I taking too much time? Am I talking too slow? I should have said this earlier. Are you guys on a time crunch? Was my point. Yeah, exactly. Like I always said, it's still our free will of choice, right? So whatever he wants to do, he needs to act on that, right? So, one second. I'm trying to open. One second. One second. Okay. You're good for a little while. Okay. I will try not to prolong this too long. Okay. So, Since it's his birthday tomorrow, okay, he's gonna experience. Oh, okay. He's gonna experience a seventh house perfection. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this is a good. Okay, so after his birthday, moving forward until his next birthday, right? So from February 18, 2023 until February 18, 2024, we're going to be seeing a lot of underlying themes for him connecting with the right people. When I mean the right people, I'm saying whether it's good friends or even like seniors or people in the media, people that give opportunities and work and agreements and contracts. So this is a good year, okay? Because right now, a perfection year talks about what house is going to be affected once you hit your birthday. So once he hits, his birthday tomorrow, it's going to move into his seventh house. His seventh house will be activated. Seventh house represents agreements, contracts, relationships, unities. Okay, so this will be a good year for him to activate his seventh house. Okay, cool. That's already a good sign. Okay, since we're done with those aspects, you sent me a question about the Japan. How did the Japan tour affect him? Okay, how did the Japan tour affect Junghwan? How did the Japan tour affect Junghwan? Please, thank you. Okay, good. Good. Okay, well. Okay. Well, bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands. He liked touring. He did like touring a lot. And he does look forward to touring some more. That's actually what he looks forward to. He thinks it's a good outlet for him. He thinks it's just enjoyable overall, and he learned a lot. So the Japan tour taught him a lot. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Ace of Pentacles teaches him, or his experience of the Japan tour. It's like this was a new beginning. This is a new kind of environment that I actually enjoy doing, but in a different aspect. I have fours again. So the Four of Cups came out again, but we also have the Four of Pentacles. So these two, four is a number of foundation, comfort, stability. So while he did enjoy the Japan tour, he it was kind of like still highlighting the fact that he misses regular life, or he misses home. He felt homesick a little bit. So it's again such an underlying theme. There's a lot of being caught between one thing versus another, being pulled one direction and being pulled another direction. Okay. Um okay, I'm gonna pull another card. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so imagine this. Okay, imagine Junghwan like this. He enjoys performing. He enjoys seeing tunes. He enjoys being on stage. He likes traveling. Great, that's the good part. He hates the after effect of the performance, because once he's off the stage, once he's done touring and or exploring a little bit, then it gets exhausting. So once he imagine this, like once he gets to the hotel, he gets stuck in his head. You know who this reminds me of? I don't know if you follow or stan them, but Blackpink. Um, Rose experiences that often. She loves being on stage. She feels at home on stage. But the moment when she's not on stage, she dreads it. Like when she's in her hotel, she dreads it. Okay? And it kind of leaves too much room for him to stay stuck in his head again. That's what that Four of Pentacles represents. Now, another representation of this Four of Pentacles that I'm seeing with Junghwan The Japan tour, yeah, the high is gone and it's just like a lot of depletion. But this Four of Pentacles, so the Japan tour, I actually like this. I think it's kind of funny. The Japan tour is teaching him how to be a little more greedy in a good way. Okay, I'm not meaning greed in a bad way. Sometimes we need to be greedy. Okay, the the Four of Pentacles says the Japan tour taught him a lot about like what he wants to do next or experiences he wants to feel, feelings he wants to feel, and just have fun with it. Right? He's like, hey, I like being on stage. I like doing these things, and I'm learning a lot about like what I enjoy when I'm on tour. So it's a huge learning experience for him and his self. But the difficult part is when he's not on stage or when he's not preoccupied with other things like traveling, hanging out with the members. The Temperance in reverse, kind of like what you said, the high dies, the high is gone. So when it dies, his thoughts overcome. So, baby boy. Let's see, what else? How else did the Japan tour affect him? Okay. The more experiences you have, the more you get to know what you like and why. Exactly. Absolutely. I 1,000% agree. So, last card for that, right? For the Japan tour, how it affected him. The Fool. The Fool. He he basically takes every stop or every city or every place, every performance as kind of like that free feeling, that not exactly reckless, but just feeling like something that's liberating, you know? So anything that he suppresses, anything that he feels, you know, suffocated by or that it's entrapped within him, he uses these performances or the tour to let those feelings out, right? And then that's why he feels the high. It's like the moment you're so high or you've peaked with your energy and you've released all of that, the faster you're also going to feel tired or the faster you're also going to feel drained. So I think what he needs to learn now is how to balance that. He needs to find a way to balance this. The freedom of travel and new places and new faces. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Freedom of new explorations, new adventures, new experiences, new faces, new environments, everything new, right? And that gives you that free feeling. You're like, oh, this is exciting, this is adventurous, this is, mischievous in a sense, and he enjoys that. And then when he, lives that moment to its highest potential, then he ends up being empty handed when it's done, you know? Oh, Junghwan. All right. Anything else before we proceed? Anything else before we proceed? Okay, that's yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Hermit in reverse. So yeah, when the high is gone, he stays stuck in his head again. So it's something he needs to work on, balancing those moments. So okay. Next question is, how does he feel about becoming an adult? How does he feel about becoming an adult? The Chariot in reverse. So Cancer energy. You know how we like to joke, or most Tumez like to joke, that he's still a baby in a grown body? He relates. He agrees. He agrees. Even if we don't directly tell him that, he's also on the same page as us. Like the way he perceives himself, he thinks he's immature. Even though I don't think he's immature, but he feels to himself he needs a lot more growing up to do. The Chariot in reverse. After he became an adult, he doesn't feel like he accomplished much reaching this age. You know, the the Chariot in reverse says that even more so now that he's an adult, he's actually a lot more pressured by success, by achievements, goals. He feels like, did I waste all this time not doing enough? That's maturity thinking. We need to keep growing. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's always room for growth. There's always room for learning. There's always room for lessons and improvement. But I hope he finds space to understand that it's not a race kind of thing. That's so important. To him, he feels like, okay, I'm an adult, but I feel like I haven't done much. He's like, what was I doing throughout this whole time? You know, he feels like he either wasted time or he feels like he didn't use his time well. The Chariot says, okay, I'm an adult, but now what? What can I say that I've achieved now that I've reached this age? Right? Seriously, since 13 years old. If I had the opportunity to talk to Junghwan, I would openly say, sir, young sir, you're 18, and I assure you, you've accomplished even more than I have at my age in my 30s. you, you know what I mean? I'm like, young sir, you better believe you've accomplished a lot more than even I have who's in my 30s. Like, stop. You're doing amazing. Like, don't do that to yourself because you have done so much. Okay? You were trying to like live your dream at 13. What was I doing at 13? I don't know, being freaking a naive kid. An immature brat. I was an immature spoiled brat at 13. So, precious boy. Right? We all do feel that way. Is he comparing himself and his accomplishments to other members or idols? Let's see. He is. He is. I'm not gonna say members though. Just people of his group. Not group. His age group. Okay, because we have the Page of Wands. So is your community of his age. He's because even if he's 17, 18, Page represents the kid. It represents the youth. He's part of that youth. Wands is energy. Wands is frequency. And then we have the comparison. So Nine of Swords is anxiety. Okay. Worrying about, oh, what are other kids my age accomplishing? What are other kids my age or idol members doing at my age? Like, I'm here part of treasure, and I feel like I'm not doing as much. And you know what it is? I don't know if he thinks this way. Maybe I'll pull a card for that. But now I'm kind of like curious because I don't know if you noticed this, because I have noticed this a little bit, but now that we're talking about it, it kind of is rising into my head again. Um, most, if not all, in any group, whether it's YG, JY, whatever, any idol group, most of the time, magnes in their respective group get a lot of shine. But I don't see that for Junghwan. Like, it's not happening for Junghwan just yet. Does that make sense? Is that just me? Maybe that's just my observation. But for a little bit, when I compare all the magnes of other groups that I hear about, everyone talks about their maknae, or everyone wonders about such and such as maknae. Not a lot. I don't see a lot get curious for Junghwan all the time just yet. Maybe it's not his time yet. Maybe it's because also he hasn't had the opportunity for it yet. And like I said, it's hard. He's part of a group with so many members. We see that problem. Okay, then it's not just me. I have noticed it a little bit, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's coming in my head again. I'm like, you know what? There is a difference with that. Like most idol groups are like, oh my god, that's a maknae. That's a. I don't see that often when it comes to Junghwan. It's very interesting. I'm gonna ask. See, now I'm being nosy. What is the aspect of that? Maknae versus maknaes. What can you say about that spirit? Ooh, okay. Good. That's what I thought. This is why his fans are extra protective and keep pushing him. Yeah. No, very valid. You know, it's understandable. Seems like people outside the fandom are naturally curious about him. I agree to an extent. I feel like it's only been recent though. Does that make sense? I feel like that aspect of people outside of Tumez being curious about, I feel like that's only recent. Not not ever since. No, not ever since. Yeah. Anyway, so I pulled a card talking about like his time to shine, especially like him being maknae. Because I'll be real with you, Jongwon, he can be labeled as an all-rounder maknae, like a lot of other maknaes, right? He can be his own version of a golden maknae per se. But I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that big hype yet. He needs that push. He needs that encouragement. But it's gonna happen for him. The Fool in Reverse is saying, wait a little more, don't give up. Okay, it's happening. It's gonna come up. Something will kind of click and it will fall into his lap, or that opportunity or that chance is gonna fall into his lap, and they're gonna be like, who's that boy? And everyone's gonna be like, that's So Junghwan Treasure. He's also the youngest. And then all his fans are gonna be like, okay, we're gonna gatekeep y'all. You're not allowed to touch Junghwan kind of thing because he's our baby a little bit. But the Fool in Reverse says from Spirit, wait a little bit longer. It's not happening right now, but it will. Okay. Organic growth, guys. He trended himself a time or two, like with that dance challenge. True, he did, but I feel like that's just a tease. I feel like he can have an even really big viral moment later on, especially with that Fool in Reverse. So maybe this will be that year. Summer of 2020. Okay, let's go move on. What does he want to say to his fans? Okay, what does Junghwan want to say to his fans? Hopefully before my hair turns all gray. Stop, don't say that. Don't say. Wait, how old are you? I don't think it's gonna take long. Okay. I'm freaking dead. Okay, what does he want to say to his fans? What does John want to say to his fans? Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Hmm. before I proceed to the message. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Okay. All right. So, Junghwan, what does he want to say to his fans? So, let me kind of embody Junghwan a little bit. Okay, so if I am Junghwan, I can see that I would want to say to fans how thankful he is. He's not an idiot, by the way. It's like, okay, if I'm Junghwan, I'd be like, look, I'm thankful for all the protection that I get, for all the love and support that I get, especially from my actual fans that like bias Junghwan, right? So he's very thankful. He feels validated to be protected or to be kind of like supported from behind and encouraged. But to be honest, he also feels burdened by that protection. He feels like he likes the fact he is protected and he has a support system, but he also feels like he wishes the encouragement was delivered in a different way, like in a more trusting way. So let me show it to you. Seven of Seven of Wands. This card is the representation of protection, defensiveness, but it's also controlling. Okay, so he says, "I wish my fans could protect me in a way that they don't depict what's good for me or what's best for me." What he wants from fans is more trust. Okay, what he wishes from fans is more trust. Honestly, the Eight of Swords here, so that's that fear again, very similar. Very similar to the Devil. Okay, very similar to the Devil. It's like, okay, well, thank you for protecting me or thank you for being defensive for me, but your controllingness makes me more confused, right? Like, who, like, I love you guys, but who are you to tell me what is right and wrong for me? Who are you to tell me that I can't figure it out by myself? Who are you to tell me that I won't know what to do later on? Because that controllingness, he sees it, he lurks. He lurks of how intense the defensiveness gets, and that defensiveness confuses him more. It freaks him out a little bit, to be honest. He thinks that's a burden, and it scares him. He'd be like, yes, protect me, but don't control me. Don't project a scenario that you think I can't figure out on my own, kind of thing. Right? Why can't you just support me, appreciate me, even for what I am now, for where I am now? Right? You know what I mean? So we have the judgment. The judgment is saying that I hope people realize that, yeah, I may come off uh, a little cold or I may come off a little misunderstood, but that's just me trying to figure it out in my own head. And I wish people just gave me more room for that. Okay. He overall overall I what I can see from him, he just really wants to see people trust what he's capable of. In spite of time, in spite of who's around him, in spite of what kind of staff, management, or even what the members do around him, he wants people to trust him and his environment and how he manages himself in this environment. You know what I mean? Because the more we project, the more he feels like he wants to separate, or the more he wants to dissociate, isolate. He feels passionate about where he is, but the more projection there is, he feels a little concerned. Like it feels more of like, I don't want to cause chaos because I'm already chaotic in my head. So in his perspective, it's like, I don't want to cause drama, but since my fans are also causing it, maybe I need to still keep quiet because I don't want to give them reason to be more all over the place. You know what I mean? It's a lot of torn energy. In other hindsight, he's thankful for the love. He's thankful for the support. He feels blessed. We have the Ten of Pentacles again. But you know what it is? I don't know if you can relate to this, but I know I did when I was younger, especially when I was a teenager. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. It feels like a teenager parent dynamic. Absolutely. He's a teenager. He's like, God, just let me figure it out. Like, I know what I'm doing. Da-da-da-da. You got to let me figure it out. You need to let me learn. Right? It's exactly what's happening in his head. You know, he doesn't even get that from his parents. His parents is already letting him do what he needs to do. Right? His parents are letting him live his dream, do what he needs to do, be professional, be in his career, just take on opportunities when he can. And then yet here we are, fandom, no relation to him whatsoever, doing all this. You know what I mean? So he's like, what the hell? You know, he's like, dude, not even my own family tries to control me like this. Right? So we are those parents, I know. Yeah. Look, these are like, in spite of like him wishing for more trust. Okay, in spite of wishing him for more trust, there's still a lot of amazing cards. Okay, let me show it to you. Passion. He loves where he's at. He is grateful for where he's at. Yeah, it makes him think a lot. Yeah, he's gonna reflect on other things that he wants to do, but that's just part of it. You know, you can't be too complacent, but that's just what it is in life in general. But he knows better. You have the intuition. He's aware. He is self aware. If he wasn't, then, you know, we wouldn't be complaining overall, but he needs to figure it out. And that's not up to us as a fandom, you know? Sweetness, again, like I said, he appreciates the fandom, he's thankful to the fandom, but he also wishes we gave him more space. Now, earlier, who was it? Okay, you said we trust Junghwan, but we don't trust YG. Now, while I do understand that, because I have my reservations too. It's like I trust YG, but I don't trust YG sometimes. But to kind of counter that argument, if I am Junghwan, right? He's like, okay, cool. You trust me. You supposedly trust me, but you don't trust YG. So how about this? Why don't you trust me being able to handle YG? Why don't you trust me enough to handle my position in YG? You know what I mean? Regardless of how YG might be acting around me, why don't you just trust me to handle it? That's my counter argument if I'm Junghwan. Yeah. What's up, Jason? Is he awake right now? Is that what I felt? What time is it there? Oh, it's 6:30 in the morning now. Isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 6:30 in the morning. I felt it. Yeah, Junghwan's awake. So early. Okay. Okay. Can I ask how much say does he have with the company? Sure. Let's do that. School day, maybe? Maybe his ears. His ears itch too much. Okay. How much say does he have? How much say does he have? Okay, there we go. Oh, good. He has the Four of Wands. Again, the Four of Wands. Joyous home. He has say. He does have say. We have Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity. Okay. He has a lot of say. If he wanted to, that's the situation. Does he? Like, even if he has it, does he voice his opinion? Maybe not. Yeah. Joyous home. It's a good place. They ask them questions, right? Are we on the same page? Are we clear? There's actual reciprocity. You give and take, right? In both ends. But does he use that opportunity? That's a different story. So let me pull cards for that. Okay, does he use that freedom, that liberation? Well, because maybe Junghwan still holds himself back. By the way, those are cute cards. Reminds me of Monopoly cards. They are. They're inspired by Monopoly. Yeah, see? Nine of Swords again. He doesn't. See? Anxiously stressed out. You know what it is? He's an INFJ. I am an INFJ, and I get like this too. He doesn't. He doesn't utilize his opportunity. It stresses him out to communicate sometimes. It overwhelms him. Like when people ask him, hey, do you have anything to say? Do you have any contribution? What do you think? Junghwan might freeze and might get stressed out a little bit. He's like, because I get like that too. I'm getting better at it. I have gotten a lot better at it ever since I was like in college or whatever. But he's still young. But he has this tendency where if you put him on the spotlight or if you give him an opportunity to ask what's going on, he needs to sit on it. Before you can let him speak his mind or what his thoughts are or something, you need to let him sit on it. That's what INFJs are. Let's also look at his human design, by the way, because Junghwan is excuse me. Junghwan is a projector. Okay. Junghwan is a projector in his human design chart. Projectors, they're also kind of similar to the INFJ. So projectors have a way of getting kind of like the leadership part. Like they have to take initiative before anyone else does. So if, say, I'm a projector, if I want an opportunity for myself, then I have to say something, but on my own time, not people forcing me to do it. So this is why I do what I do. I work in a freelance. I do a lot of stuff on my own time. I'm a flexible person. Junghwan is the same with the projector design chart. He needs the opportunity for him to say things on his own terms, not him being frozen in the spot like, hey, you got anything? And be like, panic mode. So, yeah, he stresses out. But I wouldn't worry too much about YG giving him any freedom or whatever. He has it, so. What else do we need to know about that? Okay, so he gets overflowing emotions, so kind of the same thing as that anxiously stressed out, but in an emotional aspect. But we do have the strength card. So in due time, he's going to get better at it too. Yeah, he will get better at it. So just give him a little more time to practice. He just needs to practice communicating. You know who else? You know who else has the same vibe or same energy? Is Doyoung. Doyoung's similar, but I can see Doyoung really breaking out of that too. Doyoung is already starting to break out of that habit, but I think this is probably why Junghwan and Doyoung are very close because they're kind of similar in that respect. Hold on. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, he's not a projector. Okay, never mind. He is. INFJ versus ENFJ. Yeah, fair enough. Very similar. It's just Doyoung has a stronger demeanor, at least as of now. Okay, what else can we do for him? What else can we do for? We'll get to that. I'm gonna pull advice for Junghwan and you guys later, after the rest of the questions. Next, if he sees and knows his fans' love and support for him, yeah, okay, let's see. Does Junghwan see and know his fans' love and support for him? Does Junghwan see and know his fans' love and support for him? Ooh, ooh. Dang. Okay, well, um, he does. He does. He's such a frustrated. Oh my god, is this what it's like raising a teenager? I don't know. I don't have my own kids, and I mean, I help raise my nieces and nephews, and like they're older now, but I don't know how it's like raising teenagers in this generation. Anyways, he does see the love and support. Okay, we have wishes come true place. So 9 of Cups. Yeah, he does see the love and support. But what I do see is he's such a pessimist. Okay, he's such a pessimist. So in spite of seeing the love and support, I think this is natural though to anyone, not just teenagers. But what I am seeing is sometimes you can be given so much support. You can be given 100 compliments, but yet the one negative thing is what you linger on. I'm sure you guys can relate, right? Your family, your friends, or good people in general are going to tell you so many good things, and it's nice and all. And then there's that one negative, mean thing or one stressful thing, and you're going to linger on that one thing in spite of having 1,000 compliments, 1,000 positive things. It's just that one thing, right? That's what's happening for Junghwan. He does see the love and support, but he's still there's the conflict. Okay, I see the factors that it only takes a couple negative comments for him to get distracted. He tries not to show that, but he's not. He does get affected pretty easily about it. So conflict, mentally stuck, right? Okay, and he has this again, anxiously stressed out again. So the 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords. So a lot of Swords energy, a lot of mental conflict. Okay. So we also have the Tower card. This is not a good card. So yeah, oh, I see all the love and support, but it only takes this one Tower moment for me to just get distracted and just think about that. Now the positive thing of seeing all the negative or dwelling on the negative is he uses it as motivation. Okay. So if he's lingering on negative comment or controlling stressful comment, he uses that as motivation to work. He uses that as motivation or as reason to do better. That's what the magician talks about. Magician is manifestation. It's about utilizing your energy for better, for growth, for improvement. So, yeah. Okay. What is he excited to show? What is he excited to show? So this is the last question, and we'll do predictions and advice. What is he excited to show? What is he most excited to show of himself? Ooh. Oh, good. Thank God. Good. Good. Okay, I like that. So we have the devil card a lot in this reading, but it came out again, but in reverse, which is a good sign. The devil, look, it's in a cage, right? So instead of the devil putting him in a cage, very soon he's excited to just eventually show a different part where he's not paying attention to the devil. So it's like, oh, the devil trapped me. No, I'm going to trap the devil instead, kind of thing. He has been actively working on that by himself, and that's where that feeling where he wishes fans can just trust him. He knows he's in a torn place right now, but he's actively working on it. This is why he wishes for more trust and faith in his time, right? So another thing that he wishes for people to anticipate about him, that he's excited about. So I can see him excited to show more, it's more energetic than anything. But if you remember the dedication that he had during YG Treasure Box, he's going to kind of emulate that pretty soon. So watch me work is back. Okay, Eight of Pentacles. Let's use, what's the best example to use since YG Treasure Box? When the vocal teacher, right? The vocal teacher got really hard on him back in YG Treasure Box, and he like cried and everything. But then look at what happened after in the performance after when they, what was the song? Was it Shiny? Shiny, right? View? He killed it. And he was selected, right? He's ready to kind of emulate that energy again. That's his advantage. When you give him lemons, he makes lemonade, kind of thing. You know, that's something he's always done. And he will do it again. Okay? He will do it again. So just watch me work on myself and you're going to see what's going to come forth. You have to be more precise about it. Okay? To be more precise of it, like what we can physically see from him, he's excited to show a more confident side of him. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Why does this give me Jihoon feels? So he wants to emulate a more romantic, mature side very soon. So we have the Knight of Cups, messenger of romance and invitations. He wants to kind of give off this new suave kind of demeanor, like a like that cheeky side kind of thing, like flirtatious a little bit. I mean, he's already kind of doing it now. So the Knight of Cups, right, as charisma, it represents a side where they're again being flirty, being romantic, being cheeky about things. And the Knight of Cups is about connection. So he wants to do more as that. And even more precisely, he wants to look more mature. He wants to look more I don't want to use the words. I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to use this word, but I'm gonna have to. He kind of wants to like allure people in or seduce people in a sense, because he feels like that's what's gonna work. Can't. Why are boys like this? Why are boys like this? I can't. So, because that's what Knight of Cups are. Knight of Cups, out of all the knights, Knight of Cups are so obnoxiously playful that way. Yeah. It's like pretty soon he's willing to just risk it because he's held back for a while. So, you know what that was? See, my spirit guide Ava. That's hilarious. No, stop. Speak the Venetian language. Exactly. So my spirit guide Ava, she's saying that him being flirty in the Japan tour was him testing the waters, like seeing how people react to whenever he does something like crazy, like, showing his abs or whatever. That he did that on purpose, obviously, but for his beneficial research. He's just like, oh, let me do this and see how they react. Oh, you know what? They flipped out. I like seeing that. So now he's going to take advantage of that feeling. I swear. Boys. um, right? For real. So give him good feedback. Give him good, energy. I guess he likes the spotlight. I mean, he does have a excuse me, have he does have a Gemini moon. Gemini moons love the attention like that, so that makes sense. Um yeah, I think what also he's excited to show here is like his skill set's getting even more better. Like for once he's actually like super confident in his skills, especially when it comes to dancing. Okay. He okay, so for him his strength is dance, but he's actually like very confident, even more so now when it comes to his dancing, which is good. Because sometimes, like when he's, showing us his dance moves or whatever, when he does like those freestyle videos, he feels comfortable, but pretty soon we're gonna see someone that's comfortable and confident. So that's a good sign too. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what it is? Okay. What it is that, I mean, I've done this before. I've put myself in the spot myself. Um, when I feel like I am weak at something, then I use this advantage to use my strengths more, right? If I can't progress on something I want to work on as fast as like as I want it to, then I better just use my strengths to get me there. That's what Junghwan's about to do, you know? So, say for example, I know a big frustration that Junghwan's fans have are like screen time or line distribution, right? So, in his eyes, I don't think it bothers him, but he knows it's bothersome because he's aware it bothers the fans. It's like he's like, well, I'm not exactly complaining of not having that many lines, but I'm complaining now because my fans are complaining. See, you see how projection works? You know what I mean? Like, my parents do this to me all the time. I'm like, it's not a big deal to me, but now you're making it a big deal to me because you're telling me it's a big deal, right? Now, for him, He's like, well, if I can't get lines, then I better make sure I get opportunity. I make opportunity to use my strengths. Right? His confident strength is his dancing. And that's what we're going to see more. Right? He's going to play his cards straight, pun intended. Okay. With that said, let's finally do predictions. Exactly. He does that in concerts. He does. Okay, let's do predictions. You guys already know, but as a refresher, predictions are not fixated. They're not definite. Even if I say it's potentially able to happen, it might not happen, or it could happen later. Okay, just don't dwell on it. He still has his free will of choice, and the universe is still always working and shifting. With that said, what can we expect out of Junghwan in the near future? What can we expect out of Junghwan in the near future? Good. Okay. Okay. So, this is actually an old download. I recognize this one. Okay. I don't know if you were around when I said this before, but okay. In the near future, we're gonna get kind of like a Doyoung and Junghwan content. It's like a segment. Like they're gonna do their own kind of thing. And I don't know if it's like a separate content on their YouTube channel. I'm just gonna say there's some segment of something that both of them are in charge of. Okay. So this is gonna be a good opportunity, not just for Junghwan, but also for Doyoung to get some shine too. Okay. So both Doyoung and Junghwan will have an opportunity to showcase stuff, whether it's like their personality, their charms, their talent, whatever it is. We're gonna see a lot more for those two. Okay. Now breaking it down, Junghwan will have an opportunity to be a representative of treasure for something. This is it. Like I said, opportunities just open. What your goal is you just take it, receive it. You be proactive and grab the opportunity when it, shows up. Now, I don't know exactly what this kind of show or content I'm seeing in the download, but I see him representing treasure for something. And it could be just something simple, or it could be something grand. I don't know, but whatever the case is, he's the representative. I can see treasure being like, go Junghwan. Yeah. And Junghwan's just like humbly like, okay, I'll do this. And yeah, I don't know what he exactly does. I just see him standing and he's being a representative of treasure. I see his name tag. I even see it says treasure, and like I see the members like behind him in the audience. Us as moms, take it, Joe. I know, right? Yeah, I see him just representing treasure well. Okay. Okay, next we have the world card I do want to talk about. This is representing the next tour, or Asia tour for now. This Asia tour is going to make Junghwan. Okay. So earlier I told you guys, right? He learned a lot during the Japan tour, right? So everything that he learned during the Japan tour, he's going to utilize it for this Asia tour. Okay. He's going to utilize that for the Asia tour, and so on and so forth. And this Asia tour, you're going to see a lot more about him. You're going to see maybe a lot more viral fan cams of him, etc. Just that Asia tour is going to do good things for him. Okay. Can we ask what happened with that ping pong appearance? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? To be honest, I don't think I followed that. I only watched one. I didn't even watch the full episode. I just watched clips of it. What happened exactly? They cut his match out. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I only saw a little bit of clips from Junghwan. Let me see what happened with that ping pong place. Yeah, I remember that, but like I didn't follow close attention to the show. Okay, so I didn't realize his match got cut. Okay, what happened to that? What happens to what happened? Oops. I mean, I'm not seeing like any kind of like reasoning for it. It's lousy editing. That was it. That's it. It was just lousy editing. Um, Interesting. Let me pull an oracle for that one. Why did their match get cut? One second. Why did? Oh, interesting. Okay, so, huh, huh. I guess I did. So who said? Was it because they lost? Yeah, I think what happened is so we have Four of Pentacles earlier, holding on tight, but then we have Pride in reverse. So what I'm seeing is, yeah, it's like either they lost or maybe the competition or that part of the match wasn't exciting enough to be released because I still see lousy editing. So what happens in like these media shows, they're not going to show things that are, you know, bland in their opinion, right? To them, they're like, well, that was that we can cut that off. That's like a waste of like airtime. You know what I mean? When they can be like, oh, there's more interesting moments in this match, we can incorporate that rather than this match. So one, it's lousy editing. Two, it's also they didn't last that long. So it's both of those factors. So yeah, that is one thing you need to know about media. They're pretty relentless when it comes to like airtime. They're just like, well, I guess we can add that, but we have more better content or better moments here, have better highlights. Let's just add that. Let's just remove that. It sucks, to be honest. It's hard. It's hard to get that right momentum. But you were on point about that because they lost. I don't think they lost early though. That's the thing. I don't think they lost like early on. I think it just so happened. So I don't know. These TV people, they feel like they know everything. And just yeah. Okay, what else can we expect from Junghwan? Okay. All right, don't give up. Don't give up. Ooh. Okay. Hmm. So he might. Okay. So that hiatus I mentioned. Okay, good. That hiatus I mentioned, it's not even a big hiatus, so don't even worry about it. I know maybe if I say hiatus, it might freak out people because of like what happened to Machio and what happened to Yedam. But for him, don't worry about it. I promise you that. He's gonna get a break, a much needed break eventually. Maybe it's after the Asia tour. Okay, maybe it's after the Asia tour. but he will have an opportunity to go home, bottom of the deck. See, he'll have that. He'll be able to recharge himself when he gets home. He'll be there for a little bit, and he'll get some time to really think, to reflect even more and more properly. And then this is his sign. So the star. The star card is Aquarius. He is an Aquarius. The star says, don't give up. Okay, have hope and faith in Junghwan. The star says he's going to come into his own light, or he's going to realize the light that he is on his own. And he'll share that. He'll emulate that. But the biggest significance for him, at least this year, is this tour. The world came out again. But also, he might land. One second. Let me pull. I see another number here. Who is that? Who is that? You're not going to tell me who that is? Okay, maybe not. Excuse me. So, okay. This Asia tour is going to be very significant. You're going to see new highlights of him, new sides of him. But after this Asia tour, they're going to have, okay, is this after the tour or before the tour? Sorry, I'm getting this all mixed up. I just want to know when. When is this? Is this after the tour or before the tour? After the tour or before the tour? Okay, they don't know yet. Okay. Okay, Spirit of the Cards doesn't know if it's before or after. Okay, anyways, anticipate a comeback from Treasure this year. So not only is this tour going to be significant, but this comeback, whether it's before or after it, is significant. Okay. This I'm seeing a redemption. Okay. I'm seeing a redemption for Junghwan. Okay. There's gonna be, I mean, it may not be like the most spectacular thing. You might still be disappointed just because you have high expectations, and I understand that. But it will definitely feel a lot better than what it was during Hello era. I know a lot of you were, saddened or upset for, kind of like not having enough of Junghwan during Hello. You're gonna have a redemption period for him. Okay. So manage the expectations, of course, but at least this new era, there will be a better feeling for him. You're gonna probably feel like, oh, okay, I'll take it. That's better. That's like a lot better than what it was before. Okay. So yeah, wouldn't worry too much. Yeah, biggest highlight so far is the Asia tour, and then this next comeback. Whatever side he's gonna show in this next comeback is it's gonna be like the new starting point for him as an individual. It can't get worse than Hello. I agree. I agree. All right. Can we know the concepts? Sure. Let's look at the concepts. Since there's only two of you, right? Let's know the concept. Okay. Ooh. Is it really? Don't do this to me. Oh my god, you know what? Okay, this might, okay, like I said, predictions can change, it could shift around, but the potential of this comeback is the dramatic side of Treasure. Finally, I mentioned this before a long time ago, but it shifted because of Mashio and Yedam leaving. Because this concept was supposed to happen sooner, like a lot sooner, and like maybe this song was supposed to come out even sooner. But ever since what happened to Masha and Yedam, they were like, okay, we need to regroup. We can't do this concept just yet. But we're gonna get a dramatic side to Treasure. I'm hoping it is this comeback. It seems like we are leaning towards that way. We'll see. And I really want this from Treasure. I want this so bad. But who knows? If it stays in this momentum, if all flows well, we'll get it. If not, then maybe next time. Regardless, we have a dramatic Treasure. We have them even acting. So I did mention that before. So we're probably going to see them actually use their acting skills even more so. More storyline in their concept. Please, that's all I want. I want story. I want, relations. I want connection. So I'm claiming it's this next comeback. Okay. If not, it's soon. Um, a lot of like relatability between the fans or the viewers versus Treasure and their music and their concept. Yeah, dramatics, acting, cinematography, symbolism, just dark. Not like really dark, but thought provoking. Thought provoking for sure. And I guess because this is significant for Junghwan is because he's good in acting. So we can see, maybe we're gonna see like the intense actor Junghwan be like, "Yep, let's freaking go, Junghwan." So yeah, you know what I want? This is like a selfish request on my own. I say this with my friends, my tuna friends, but I really wish they would have continued that ending from I Love You era where he ran and like he talked to that girl. I wanted so bad for that concept to eventually continue in another song or another music video. I said, so is that it? Is that it? We're just gonna be left in the dark about that? No one's gonna talk about what had happened between those two? Uh, if they do that, I would be so happy. I would be so happy. I can only wish, right? I'm just gonna speak it into the universe. Maybe they'll continue it. Will we ever get it? I don't know. Let me see. I don't wanna. I don't know. I want to just claim it, but let's see. Oh, maybe the Empress. Okay, the Empress says you can. You might. There's potential for it. That's so funny because he was so young there, and like you look at him from before versus now, like he's all grown up. Maybe they could continue that sort of plot, right? 3 years later, and Junghwan's still thinking about that girl. You never know. He's all grown up and he's still thinking about that girl from high school. Why I'm getting your name? Ooh, dude, if they did your name, that would be fun. That would be a good concept. Okay, so anything else we can see or look forward to from Junghwan? Okay, we still got the star come out again, so that's always a good sign. Yeah, so I did say that before about his break, his tiny break, restful solitude. So Four of Swords, that's that tiny break I mentioned. Okay, so it looks like since this came out again, that might be definite that it will happen. Might for now, it might be definite it will happen, but that will benefit him for sure. Okay, yeah, good. When he gets that break, whenever he's gonna come out as King of Wands, someone confident, right? Provider of authority and charm. Someone confident, someone embodying the most kind of leadership type of person with himself. You also have the sun card, okay? The sun and the star together is a good sign. The sun and the star together talks about like a hopeful happiness, a hopeful new beginning, happy place type of deal. So this break is necessary. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's use this deck again. What is happening? Oh, sorry. I see an Amazon package being delivered. I need to get that in a bit. Amazon. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So, will we ever get Captain America Junghwan back? Oh no. Let me ask that in a bit. But right now, so Junghwan in the future, kind of coming out on top with that perseverance card. Okay. We also have environment. So why I have environment here, okay. Look at that, all the fours. 4 and 44. 4 is a significant number for this reading. But environment is out because I feel like not only is he gonna change, or not only is he gonna make shifts for himself, but the people that see him is also gonna kind of shift. And I mean that in the best way possible. It's like maybe it has been quiet, maybe people overlooked Junghwan, maybe people have been definitely sleeping on him, which I agree. But that's gonna change. Okay? That's gonna change. Just because what I see here, kind of like that same argument that I made earlier about how Junghwan is probably like one of the very few maknaes in the K-pop industry where he's overlooked because opportunity or whatever. But here's the thing. Now I'm starting to see that maybe people did know about Junghwan or did like have an awareness of Junghwan, but what had happened is something about him made people back down, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, he's from Treasure. Oh, he's from YG. Oh, he's how old? So people had like these reservations towards Junghwan, right? But again, he's becoming an adult soon. So now people are going to be like, oh, he's from Treasure. He's from YG. Oh, he's an adult now. Great. Now we can approach him. Now we can, right? So there was like a hesitance on his end from before, but now I'm seeing it. It looks like even the media or fans hesitated on him. That's going to change. So once he becomes an adult, that's where things become different for him because he's an adult. He's gonna have like more leverage in being an adult, and then the fans or media or just netizens in general, they're not gonna hesitate on him because he's actually legal. Kind of thing. And you know what it is too. um I've personally felt this before. I think the age is it's like a key factor that kind of holds Treasure back a little bit. That's what I have an issue sometimes when I have a group. When there's a group that's like there's like some adults in the group and then there's like minors in the group. It's like you can't do too much because there's minors, right? So now that Junghwan is gonna grow up eventually, now they have more freedom. Now they can experiment more, right? Now they can explore more. So a lot of change is going to happen once he's, yeah, they can't do certain concepts, which is kind of why I'm a little worried. I'm not worried for Baby Monster, but the fact that Baby Monster, they're all like actual kids, kids, and there's only like one adult in that group, it it concerns me a little bit. I don't know how much Baby Monster can do or is allowed to do, which I guess is why their name is Baby Monster. I don't know. But anyway, you get my drift. You get my point. The lyrics to I know, right? And that's the thing. I feel like, yeah, they appreciated Junghwan overall from that, but that also made them feel like, oh my god, we shouldn't be doing that, or we shouldn't invest in that, because those are a bunch of minors saying interesting things or singing interesting lyrics, you know? So I think it'll change for sure once he's an adult officially. So yes, 2024. Environment, perseverance. Yeah. So okay. Anything else before we proceed? Ooh, my god. See that? It just exploded. Look at that. Rebirth. Here we go. New Junghwan. Abundance. This is his time, man. Effort. Hell yeah. Okay. After all the patience, after all the effort, after all the perseverance. Look at that. After all that he did by following his dreams. Okay. We have a rebirth. Abundance. It's going to rise. Okay. But for now, let's focus on what they have in store, which is like the tour and the comeback and that hiatus I mentioned. So that timeout. Okay, is there anything else? We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay, healing. So kind of like what I said, that timeout. You need to heal a little bit. Okay. Confidence. See? Very good, very good, very good. I like that. Okay. See? Okay, everything's just like consistent now. I mentioned earlier that tomorrow is his birthday and he's gonna have his seventh house perfection year. Seventh house is partnership, agreements, relationships, connections, networking. So Juno, same thing, partnership. Look forward to people being attracted to Junghwan. Okay, he's a projector. People are going to be drawn to him naturally. Like, hey kid, what's your name? And he'll be like, oh, I'm Junghwan. I'm from Treasure. Da, 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 da. And he'll be like, oh, you're awesome. You're talented. You're amazing. You're handsome. Whatever. They're going to say all these good things. And then you're like, hey, you want to do this with us? You want to do this? You want to do this? And all he has to do is say yes. You know what I mean? That's all Junghwan has to do. He doesn't have to try. He just needs to continue doing his best, continue doing what he loves, and let him attract the opportunity. All he has to do after that is just welcome it. Be like, yeah, I'd love to do that. Sure. Okay, let me do it. Hashtag say yes. We should start a trend, like no context. We should just do that. Hashtag say yes, don't lie. We should just start it on Twitter, no context, and people are gonna be like, what? What's happening? And we'll be like, don't ask questions, just trend it right now. Okay. One exciting thing we get to see here. I mean, it's all of Treasure, but like something very honest and very intimate from Junghwan. Okay, I don't know if it's like a video content or a live, but I want you to expect kind of an even more honest, heartfelt feelings from Junghwan being expressed. it's very rare for him to get like vulnerable and really speaking his thoughts and his heart, but you're gonna get that pretty soon. Um, Maybe it is a Libra side. Regardless, there's gonna be a moment where he's openly speaking to fans about what he's been thinking or what he's been feeling. What I would hope is that fans respect what he says because that's going to take him a lot of energy and courage for him to do so, to open up like this. Something very vulnerable about him is going to come. We have flow, we have sweetness, we have strength and happiness. Okay. But we also have energy. Energy is the vulnerability part. Okay. He's actually going to show his energy, he's going to express his energy. I'm going to hope that his fans are just going to respect what he says. No judgment, no projection either. Um, yeah, a very honest moment between him and Tunes. Very rare moment, but honest moment. Mm. It might have to deal with his. Okay. It might have to deal with him taking a break because we have space too. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? I'm ready. Okay, we're done. Okay. So I think that's all we can sum it up for now, prediction wise. So let's. How are you feeling, by the way? Let's pull ending advice. Yeah. You guys are okay. Let's pull ending advice for Junghwan and his friends. Okay. What else can we know about Junghwan advice wise? What can we know? The situation for Junghwan. Here we go. Expect powerful change. Excuse me. Expect powerful change for Junghwan in a good way. Okay. Eclipse energy. Ooh, here we go. A new start is coming. See a lot of that new moon energy. We were getting that earlier from the Fool card too, right? We had the Fool card come up a couple times. That also starts and talks about new beginnings or a new chapter. All right. So let's see. What else? There you go. Have faith in your dreams. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be just having faith in the dream, but kind of what I said earlier about having faith in Junghwan and having faith in Junghwan's capability to achieve his dreams. So, trusting the process more. All right, a fiery climax approaches. Okay, so in due time, we're going to see good things come up. Okay, there we go. Oh, I love this. This is what he needs. He needs to step out of his comfort zone. And I think that's going to happen around Aries season because of this one. But with this one here, with the North Node, this is like his destiny, his future. North Node talks about your destiny or your future. And stepping out of your comfort zone is like the advice. This will also happen because of that Saturn transit that I mentioned to you. So when Saturn leaves Aquarius, he's going to be free. A lot of fixed signs are going to feel more free. Okay, so good on him. Let's check his aura real quick. His aura. See, a vulnerable moment. See, truth. So his aura today, or as of now, it's very blue. That's his strength or his most balance these days. So he's going to have a vulnerable moment with you guys and talk about his feelings and his thoughts pretty soon. Okay. Connection. So green is the heart space here. Blue is the throat chakra. So these two is about connectivity, being honest, being vulnerable, sharing your thoughts and sharing your feelings. So we also have here decisions. So I'm hearing about like the hiatus or something that he chooses to do. The only thing he really expects is just understanding and respect from the fans. Emotions. Okay, so a lot of, look, he's getting pretty much almost the spectrum of colors so far. Very important. He's coming into a balanced sense soon. There we go. Don't worry about him. Okay, remember I said that expect powerful change. He'll be here. Okay, he's gonna be infinitely powerful pretty soon. This is also the same energy as that star card I showed you a couple times. Same vibe. Okay. So just in due time, have trust in the process, have trust in his journey. He'll get there. Okay. He'll get his moment. He'll get his peak spotlight. All right. Last. I feel people are still gonna panic if that hiatus comes. Oh yeah, by far they will. I mean, because we're a little traumatized. Actually, not a little, a lot, a lot traumatized. Okay. Um, I mean, for those that have watched my stuff already, kind of know about it. They're hoping it doesn't happen, and I get that, but it's inevitable. People need to start realizing people need to do what they need to do for themselves. It's not about us. It's about them. I personally wish people understood that it doesn't have to be too much of a big deal. Like, Machio had to do what he had to do. Yevon had to do what he had to do. That's not, it's not anything that we can do about it. We just have to respect that. Okay. Last. Okay. One of you said it. One of you said it. You're like, Junghwan's gonna embody his Venetian energy. Venus, beloved. See? He's gonna have his moment of glory and fame and love and support. Okay? Right? And then remember earlier, I just mentioned it. I just did a recap about Saturn, right? Saturn moving out of Aquarius. Look at that. When I say when a planet moves out of a sign or a house, we call it a transit. Look, transit. See? Just so basically this is saying from the universe, wait for things to shift. Okay, in due time, wait for things to shift. Remember in the beginning of this reading, I don't know if you recall, but I pulled the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, I said that in general, Junghwan just feels like he's been waiting. He's waiting for things to flip 180 or things to just come in full circle. That's what that is. It's the same thing. Transit. Wheel of Fortune. So it all ties together. Before we end this session, I know I wrote it down and actually wanted to make a thread about this. I think I'm gonna, if I have time later, I'm gonna make a thread about it for all the treasure. But this year of 2023, yeah. So this year of 2023 is his hermit year. Okay, so remember I said hiatus earlier. That's what the hermit does. The hermit likes to remove itself just to reflect a little bit so that things can be proper, right? So this year is his hermit year. But the best thing about it is that after that comes a brighter perspective on things. So just give him that space, give him that respect and whatnot so that he can have this moment. And then you guys said it yourself. Like once he becomes a full adult, which is like 2024, that'll probably be like the ultimate year where Junghwan is like thriving, right? But we'll save that for another time. 2024 will be his thriving year. 2023 will be the transition, right? Transitioned. So this is his mark. Okay, 2023 is a year where he's moving, transiting into something that peaks his full potential. Okay. On that note, oh my goodness. I'm actually super glad it's just the two of you right now. I am so glad it's just the two of you right now, because if I did this reading with like a full live chat, I would probably be more drained. I'm glad this is a private reading, because I feel like, because I haven't done a tarot hangout in a long time, if I just put myself out doing public again, oh my god, I would be very overwhelmed. So thank you for making it a private reading instead. All right, we're done. What time is it? Yeah, 2.5 hours for Junghwan. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for this. And thank you for waiting, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for spending the last 2.5 hours with me. I appreciate it. It's been real. It's been fun. I do definitely appreciate this. And thank you again for trusting me to do this reading. Um, I hope this clarifies anything that was like heavy in your heart about Junghwan. I know we get a little defensive because he is baby, and no matter what, no matter how old he gets, he's always going to be that to you guys, right? So I understand. I feel like I'm always going to feel that way about Yedam too. I technically call him like actual son or whatever, but I totally get it. So yeah. So thank you. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad. Yeah, actually, thank you for letting me have an opportunity to not overwhelm myself. Because, like I said, I haven't done the tarot hangout in a long time. So, if I did this openly, I would probably might have overwhelmed myself. So, thanks for letting me ease my way in back. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. Keep this link, by the way, but you can DM me if you need it. Yeah, exactly. The new subscribers. Yeah, it's just been very busy too. But yeah. Yes, you are my transit. Yeah, that is exactly what's happening. You are my transit, helping me come back into this. But yeah, keep this link if you ever want to come back to it, because this is going to remain unlisted. But if you ever lose a link, you just DM me and let me know, and I'll give it to you. Okay? All right. Bye. Thank you. Oh, Jason and Ava say bye as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.